All right, part two of creating our e-commerce site. Okay, in this video, we are creating, well, we already created the site. We are customizing our WordPress site to look just like this site here. This is my local version and this is my public version. So we're going to create a site that looks just like this. In this video, we are going to customize it. This is part two. If you haven't watched part one, where we actually installed the site, we are at this stage here. The site is created. We have the backend, WordPress is running. And now we are going to customize it, and it's a series of 3 videos, and on the next video we are going to test the API and we are going to test the checkout flow using a free coupon code. Okay, so we have a checklist, and the first thing we're going to do is install WooCommerce, and that one is an easy one. So for WooCommerce, we can download the application and the folder and install it, but we can just also install it from the plugins section of the built-in feature of WordPress. It's so easy to install plugins. So WooCommerce is a plugin, and WooCommerce is what's going to take our site and make it an e-commerce site. So WordPress is just CRM, right? It's content management. So it's for serving any kind of content, mainly blogs. But there's a lot of plugins that people build. You can install on the site and you can just give it features. You can do whatever you want it to do, really. And the most popular way of creating an e-commerce WordPress site is WooCommerce. It's a very popular plugin, and we're going to practice with WooCommerce. And there's a really good chance once you get a job, you're going to be testing WooCommerce. So it's a good idea to practice testing and automation using WooCommerce. Okay, so all you got to do is go to the plugins, add new, and search for WooCommerce. And usually it's the first one that shows up. And you just click on install now, and you're going to activate it once installed. It just takes a few seconds. So while this is installing, we can actually go to the next step, which is downloading WooCommerce. So for WooCommerce, go to wordpress.org/plugins and then WooCommerce, and you can just download it. The reason we need to download WooCommerce is so we can get some sample data. WooCommerce gives us some sample products, and we're going to upload those sample products. All right. So we downloaded it, and we're going to go and unzip it. I'm going to go to where? Downloads, and WooCommerce right there. Unzip it, and we'll come back to that. Now, meanwhile, let's go to our site. It should be installed by now. So WooCommerce is installed. We're going to activate it. Pay attention what happens to on the left nav. As soon as I create activate, a lot of things are going to show up here because WooCommerce is going to add tons of functionalities to our site. And it has this wizard where it's going to take you step by step configuring your site. You can use it, or we can come back and do it later. We don't have that much configuration in terms of WooCommerce, so I'm just going to do skip, and I'm just going to do whatever I want to do. I'm going to come back and do it. But for you, you can do it. You can just go step by step, say no to a lot of things, and just do it. As you can see, there's a lot of configs here now that just add up, and we know we don't have to use all of it, but we'll see a few things. Now let's upload sample products. So if we look at our checklist, install WooCommerce is done, download sample data is done. So upload sample products, right? You want to Google this. I don't think I opened this, so I'm just going to Google, say upload sample data WooCommerce, right? There's a really good documentation. Import WooCommerce sample data. It shows up first on Google, and there is few ways of doing it. The first one is telling you can do it with the wizard, with the wizard we just skipped. The second one is saying you can do it via products, and this is the one we're going to do. Basically, you can follow this step. If I'm going too fast for you, just follow the step. It's really easy. So what it's saying is we go to, so let's close this. We go to products, right? And we click on start import, right? And it says choose file. When we go to where we downloaded WooCommerce, in that folder, once we unzip it, there is sample data. In sample data, there's a lot of sample data, and one of them is sample products.csv. That's the one we're going to upload. So here, you're going to click on choose file, and we're going to go to downloads, WooCommerce, sample data, sample products.csv. You can try uploading the other ones too if you like, but this is the one I do for my site. Then click on open. It's the CSV. Don't check this check mark. Basically, if you check this, it's going to look for the products, and whatever products exist already on your site, it will update them. If not, it will skip it. And right now we don't have any products, so it's going to skip everything. So don't check that. Leave it unchecked. You don't have to do anything. You click on continue. Leave everything else here as default. click on run importer, and this just takes few seconds to import. And once it's done, we go to our site. So let's just wait for it to finish. It's done. You can click on view products. You see all the products here. So it's about 25 products that got imported. And let's go to the front end of our site. So you can click on the left side, live store, and I'm just going to open it a new tab. And as you can see, our site is basically bare bones, but now we have pages we haven't seen before. We see a cart page, a checkout page, my account page, a sample page. We always had a shop page. So if we go to shop page, we see our products. We know our products were uploaded to our site correctly. So let's go to our checklist, upload products, done. All right. Next thing, install a theme. We want it to look like in a specific way, right? So we need a theme. The way you customize the look and feel of the site is with a theme. The way you've customized the functionality is with a plugin. Plugins make it do stuff, and themes make it look like stuff. Okay. So back to the back end of our site. This is the back end of WordPress, and for this we're going to go to appearance, because a theme, right? We go to appearance and themes, and currently we see which one is active. Active is a 2023 active. So those three themes, they come installed already with WordPress. When we downloaded WordPress, we downloaded this automatically. We want to add a new one, so click on add, and you want to search for storefront. Storefront, just one word. There's a lot of themes that use the word storefront in them. Again, if you're not following me exactly, and if you're not trying to run my code, definitely, especially here, if you're not, you have to have my theme to run my code, right? But if you're just writing your own tests from scratch, feel free to experiment with different ones. And also, you can have multiple WordPress sites on your local machine. All you have to do, copy that folder, create a database. Copy that folder, create a database. That's it. You can have as many WordPress sites as you want, and you can just try different themes. And you can always, like, even in one site, you can activate one theme. You don't like it, install another theme, activate it, and you can just keep changing it until you find one you like. Like this one, for example, it looks nice. You can play with that. But the one we use is storefront. No other words associated. Like if you see all of them, they have this one is storefront, e-commerce shop, fashion storefront. There's all kinds of storefronts, right? If you want to practice more, if you want to write, you write a set of tests for one site, and you want to write another set of tests, then you can just create another site with a different theme. Anyways, storefront, install it and activate it. This also should take just a few seconds to do. It's just installed. We're going to activate. Once we activate, the UI changes. Now we're going to go to our front end, and we're going to refresh, and we see everything looks different than it did before, right? This looks a little bit more than what I have. All right, and we have this sidebar, and we're going to get rid of it, and we have 3 items on the list here. On my demo site, there is 4 items, and there is no sidebar. So we're going to configure that. So we install a theme. We did that. Now the next thing is make the shop page a home page. So when we go to home here, we see hello world. It's like a blog post page, right? This is our site we created. So how do we make that the home page? There's 2 ways. One, through the back end, you go to settings and reading. So this setting here is on the left side is the setting for the site. You might see other settings, okay? Like for example, under WooCommerce, there is settings here. That is settings for WooCommerce, settings specifically for the plugin. And the settings here on the left side at the bottom, it's a setting for the site. Sometimes some plugins will put their own settings inside of this, but typically that's what this is for the site. And we're going to use it a few times. First of all, when you go to reading, here it asks you your post, what do you want your homepage to be? Your latest post or a static page? You can select static page and click on shop. We want the shop to be our page, right? And click on save. And I'll show you another way to do this also. Okay. Now, once we save it, we go to our homepage, and you can just click on this, the name of your page. Now the homepage is actually the shop page. You have the products on the homepage, and the shop page disappears. Okay, that's one thing. So we did that. Number of products per row. Okay, how do we configure that? So let's go back to, first of all, to go to the site setting customizer from the front end. If you're logged in, you see this bar. See on top, there's the black bar all the way. You only see that if you're logged in. If you open this in an incognito, which I will shortly, you won't see that. And if you're logged in as admin, you will see this, and you can click on this customize, and that will open the customizer. Or from the back end, you go under appearance and click on customize. Okay, that opens the customizer. And you can do a lot of things. See, like the little icon on top, you can change that. You can customize it, but there's only a few things that we need. Okay, so nope, I don't want no tutorial for this case. Oh, I can't believe they're showing everything. So to make the homepage, the shop page, there is an option here somewhere. Homepage settings. Under homepage settings, you can choose which page you want your homepage. We already did that. That's why it's shop here. But what we want to do is change the number of items here. So you go under WooCommerce and products catalog, and it says products per row. You can do 4, and now there are 4 products per row, and there are 4 rows. You can change that. Let me see, 1 2 3 4 rows. You can change that if you want, but I have it as that. And publish it. Say publish means save. Okay, so we go to checklist, number of products, we did that. And hide sidebar. So this sidebar, if you like it, you can keep it, but on my site I don't have the sidebar here. On both my sites, right? I don't have the sidebar. So the thing about the sidebar here is sometimes it shows up, sometimes it doesn't. I really don't understand it. When I install, I do this a lot, right? I install the same theme, the same plugin, same everything, and the sidebar shows up, and sometimes it doesn't. So sometimes I have to hide it. And the way you hide it was a little bit of code. You use some CSS. So in the same thing in the customizer page here, it says additional CSS. And I am going to, I was going to make it bigger. Why is it getting smaller? Okay, I'll just zoom when I edit. So you just put this code in here. You can pause the video. I'm going to zoom in for you, and you can just put this code in there. So what this code does is it's just a CSS code, nothing fancy. As you can see, the sidebar is hidden, and I'm going to zoom right now. So what this is saying is basically find a div that has an ID of secondary and set the display to none. So just don't display it. Set display to none. Then take a div with an ID of primary and make the width 100. If I change this 100 to like 50, you can see it changing, right? This narrows down. So let's change it back to 100. Now it's a full page. Let's publish it, and let's go to our home page and just refresh the page. We can see that it is good to go. The sidebar is hidden, and we have 4 items per line. All right, we're getting there. So we hide the sidebar, and now we want to customize the login and registration page. So if you go to my account, you're going to see something different because you are logged in. If I log out, then I cannot edit anymore, right? So you got to keep that in mind. I'm logged in as admin. You can see it on the right corner who you logged in as. So if I want to see what my account page or the login page looks like, I have to be logged out. And if I log out, I cannot edit. So I'm going to open this page in incognito window or in a different browser. I'm just going to open a new incognito window in Safari, like totally new browsers. And this is what it looks like. Okay, this is localhost, my site 2, my account. All right, so as you can see, there is no registration at all, right? So let's add registration to our page. We want to be able to, one of the tests we test is registration. And if it's an e-commerce site, you obviously want people to register, right? So I'm going to go to the backend. To exit from here, just click on X here. You exit the customizer. So the first thing we have to do is we have to allow registration for the site. So under settings of the site, under general, you click on anyone can register, okay? And save that. Go back to my account and refresh. Again, nothing. I thought I would see something here, nothing. But at least it's allowed to register is set. Now we go to WooCommerce, and under settings, go to WooCommerce setting, account and privacy. We're going to let WooCommerce manage our registration, user management, okay? And pretty much you want to check everything here except for the last one. So check allow customers to log in through to an existing account during checkout. Allow customers to create an account during checkout. Yes. Allow customers to create an account on my account page. Play around with those. So if I check only this one, this one's for now we don't need, but if I just do this one, allow customers to create in my account page. Now if I reload this, you see now we see the registration. The problem the one thing I don't like about this is it asks for an email, and the email gets sent to the user, and the user clicks on a link, then they can put in they can set a new password, right? That's kind of not a good experience in my opinion. So I want the user to be able to add password here, which normally when you create an account, you put in your email and your password. So the last one here, when it says create, when creating an account, send the new user a link to set their password. So let's disable this. I just clicked it, it disabled. It was like this by default. I disabled it. I'm going to save. I'm going to go back to my Safari and reload the page. Now it's just the way I want it. So this is what I want my account to look like. That's what I have it on my demo site. But I also want to check this too. So to make it similar to my demo account, this is only applicable when you're actually going through the checkout process. And to make it the same as mine, check everything except this one here, okay? And save. And that shouldn't change anything here. All right, so customized login and registration page is done. The last thing we need to do is add and customize banner. The banner I'm talking about is, okay, we're done with this here. We can use it if we want. But if I go to my demo site, this little pink banner on top that shows the free shipping on orders over 50, right? So let's go to our backend and we're going to add a plugin for that. That banner is done via a plugin. So we go to the plugins, add plugin, and the plugin is called WP Front Notification Bar. WP Front Notification Bar, okay? Kind of WordPress, when you're searching for plugins, the spelling and stuff is really sensitive. Like if you have a typo, won't find it. The search is not that great in my opinion. So it's this one here, the black bell, WP Front Notification Bar, and install it and activate it. This also should not take very long. Click on activate. When you activate, it takes you to the settings page, and the setting is under settings. Remember I told you the site setting is on the left side, and some plugins add themselves into that menu. And this one is an example. It added itself here. If you can't find it, you can always go to plugins. In plugins, you see a list of all your plugins, and find the plugin you want and click on setting, and then it will take you to the same place. Then I want to enable it. Okay, I'm going to enable it and I'm going to save changes. So if I go to, in fact, let me go to my Safari when I'm logged out and I go to home page, you will see it show up. You see that? It showed up. It's black. It doesn't have anything. Let me reload. You'll see it show up. It takes a second to show up. So that's one thing I'm going to change in the configuration. So I have position on top, and here it says display after 0 seconds. I want it to show up right away, right? I'm going to save changes, and I'm going to go back here and refresh. Now it just shows up right away, right? It's not going to take a second to show up. So there are a few things I want to configure here to make it look just like mine. Position and stop, display 0 second. The text, you can put in whatever text you want. So I'm not touching anything here. I'm going to come here to message text. I'm going to type it in there, copy paste it from my notes, and I'll make it bold and save this. Go back to my site here, reload, and now I have my text here. Few more configurations. I made it bold already, and I want to exclude it on some pages. So I don't want, since it's a promotional thing, I don't want it to show up everywhere, right? So instead of selecting where I want it to show up, I'll select where I don't want it to show up, right? Exclude in the following pages, and I'm going to select my account. I just don't want that promotional thing to show up in my account, and sample page just for the fun, just for the heck of it, okay? I don't want it to show up in my account, so I'm going to click on save. Now, if I go here, home page, it's there. Cart page, it's there. Checkout page, it's there. My account page, it's not there. That's what I want. Last thing is I want to change the color. I'm going to copy the color from my list, from my notes, go scroll all the way down, and the bar color. That's the only thing. So you can customize it however you want, but my color I'm using is E81276. That's the hex code, okay? E, the letter E, lower E, number 8, number 1, number 2, number 7, and number 6. All right, I'm going to click on save. And I'm going to go back to Safari when I'm logged out, and I'm going to go to home, and voila, it looks just like my site. That's really what I wanted, and that's pretty much the configuration I have for the site. Now our site looks literally like the site I have here. All right, so if we go to our checklist and we can check the last item, that's pretty much it. The only thing missing, I don't have it here, is shipping. I'm just going to show you what to do, and you guys just take over from there. You go to WooCommerce and setting, and you go to shipping tab. So because in our page, let's add item. Let's go to the front end. This is the front end of our site. is add this item to the cart, and we go to cart, and there's no shipping option here, right? So you can leave it as you want, but on my case, I have on my demo store on the public site, I do have, I can go to add to cart, view cart, and I have two kinds of shipping. Let's see, proceed to checkout. Oh, I thought I have shipping here. Let's see. Do I have a lot of items in the cart? I have one item, but this thing changes every day. I thought I have some shipping options here. Oh, because I added a digital item. Let me let me add something that's physical, like this one here. Add to cart, view cart. Now I see shipping. You see what happened? What I did? I added a digital item to the cart because there's no shipping. So I set up two shipping. There is a flat rate for $2.99 and local pickup. You can do whatever. So the way you do that is WooCommerce setting under shipping. Click on add shipping zone. Give it a name. Add shipping method. And you can just select, like, you can add free shipping if you want, and you can add rules to it, like saying free shipping is only if the money is minimum order amount, for example. In our banner we say $50 or more, so you can just do $50 here. Minimum amount is $50, and save changes. And now basically we should see our shipping option over there. Okay, and add more shipping options here. All right, so we have configured our site, and we pretty much have done. You're done. So if you want to see how to test it, how to test the API, how to use the API, move on to the next video, which is video number 3. But for most people, this is good enough. All right, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like my videos. I really want to get encouraged to create more videos. I teach students. The students are really happy with my content and my courses. Go check out supersqa.com and learn something, become a QA automation and become a good QA automation, not just an automation guy. All right, thank you so much, guys. I'll see you on the next video.